You mess with the honk and you get the bonk.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today we're playing with the juiced up Goose, Albiorix, Goose Tyrant. This is a flying bird that has trample and perpetually grows. Whenever you sacrifice a token with it in play or in exile on its adventure, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and because it's your commander, you can send it back to the command zone while maintaining that perpetual growth. Albiorix also has this adventure that allows you to filter cards and make a food token, but you don't usually need to cast it unless you're just trying to drop some lands late game to find your big spells. Like many Simic decks, we ramp. And with lots of good consistent turn 1 ramp, we can actually get this out on turn 2 pretty easily. It has Ward 1, so it protects itself a little bit, and just start swinging in. We've got this nice aggro start in this deck. We can protect ourselves with classic counter spells like Counterspell, Mana Drain, Tails End, Memory Lapse, Wash Away, you know, the regular stuff, as we build up more and more mana and get up here. And you're wondering, well, how do you sacrifice the tokens? There's tokens that sacrifice themselves very easily, like clues you sacrifice to draw cards, and treasures to get additional mana. Food's a little trickier because you oftentimes don't want to sacrifice food unless you're getting something else out of it, like making mana off the Gilded Goose. But we also have other ways to sacrifice these tokens, and most of our tokens, by the way, are artifacts in this deck. We've got Glimmerbairn. Glimmerbairn allows us to sacrifice a token to get +2/+2 on this, and that's just an instant speed sacrifice. If we've got lots of clues out, Lonus lets us sacrifice those all at once. And we also have the Sage of Laudanum, so we can sacrifice our whatever artifact tokens and make even more of them. There's a lot of interesting kind of synergy in this deck that you might not see unless you were playing already a Simic food type of commander like the Goose Mother. So we're going to take Albiorix into the queue, and we're going to grow our Goose. Bonnie Paul, Clear Cutter. She brings out lands from the graveyard, puts them in play when a creature's attack, draws the cards, and has a big cow. And very notable for this matchup specifically, she has reach. And that reach does actually make a pretty big difference because, you know, we kind of are, you know, kind of a flying commander. I'm going to start with this Llanowar Elf. And I'm actually not bringing out my Goose Tyrant right away, because I'd rather go for Lonus and a Gilded Goose. This is going to get me both a food and a treasure. I gotta get my Goose to be more than 6 toughness, so Bonnie can't just block me forever. Don't block me, bro. It's Goose typo. I'm doing it in this order, so the Goose is using up its mana. Sacrificing that. Alright, so we have 3 clues here. Do I think that they're gonna have a good density of 3 drops in 3 cards? I mean, I'll never find out if I don't try, right? A ramp deck, yeah, so like they probably got some Llanowar elves. I don't care about that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me the goods. Wait! Bonnie, come back! I was gonna have a 7/7 flyer! And maybe one of your cards, I needed that! Astor, Bearer of Blades. Astor is an equipments commander and allows you to equip things for 1 mana. Especially good if you have something like, oh, I don't know, a Colossus Hammer that normally has a completely unreasonable cost to equip. You can do it for cheap using Astor. All right, I like this. Having a mana is nice. Yeah, I guess he's also a vehicles commander, but I don't expect to see vehicles when I see an Astor. Also, 2 Pinkie Pie commanders. 2 people of taste and culture. I have a feeling I'm going to be filtering my hand here with Albiorix. But I want to go Albiorix into Sphinx. Ogrehead Helm. Sword of Wealth and Power. That's cool. I'm going to drop Prismatic Vista And, I mean, even our talk's pretty big. Sort of Wealth and Power is good and gives me the potential double on Doppelganger. So I'm gonna drop Oyam and Artok. Yeah. I'm gonna drop Oyam and Artok for now, since we have the Goose as a decent blocker here, and Excogitator Sphinx is also pretty big. Oyam and Artok lets us turn our food into more mana, and gives us a really nice way to sacrifice them. But I really want Doppelgang. And I want 2 Doppelgangs. I don't trust like that. Yeah, okay. You couldn't have played that anyway. I don't know what else they had. Ooh, nice! Black Blade. Black Blade. Blah, blah. Hawk Champ. I can't equip the sword this turn, so we're gonna set up with the Excogitator Sphinx. So when we hit, we're gonna get a clue. A clue, a clue! Next turn's probably gonna be Hawk, doubling up the polluted Delta. And probably playing Witness Protection on Astor, if they play Astor this turn. No, Nahiri. Nahiri can kill the Excogitator Sphinx off this -2 ability, or -3 ability. Or could just make a warrior token and throw the blade on it. Dag. There's a bug in my face. It's Weaver Pop. It's me an extra polluted Delta. Albiorix, I'm going to swing at Nahiri. Saying, why are you doing that? Listen. I have landfall synergy because of the Tireless Provisioner and the Tireless Tracker, and that's why Paka's in here. I can Justice Strike him. In response, we're gonna crack open a polluted Delta, so we get more mana. I guess we'll go for Hedgemate. Oh no, but if I get untapped lands, then I can eat a food or a clue. A delicious snack for my lady. My lady who is a goose. And now I'll grab the Surveil land here. Boop. Oh, yes! Thunderhulk! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thunderhulk with Albiorix is something I actually have not managed to do yet in a game. So I'm really excited about it. Threefold Thunderhulk is... It comes in with the tokens, it sacrifices the tokens, and it makes more tokens based on pretty much the number of things you've already sacrificed. And it's gone. Okay, that's fair. I definitely wasn't going to try to doppelgang it or anything. I mean, I was, but you don't need to know that. I'll get the Sword of Wealth and Power and put it on my Goose. Swing in. This gets me a treasure. Use that treasure for the Topiary Stomper, growing my Goose even more. And now Albiorix is very well protected, since you can't target it with instants or sorceries. Next turn, if we swing in and get the Turbo Doppelgang, it'll be pretty good. I might also do it pre-combat. Forge Anew lets them equip for free and at instant speed, right? Oh no, it's the other one that's like you flash in instant speed. 8. Nah. You gonna sacrifice it? Trying to think if there's a route to lethal hail. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we buff up one of our gnomes. I know everybody in chat is like, but doppelgang. But doppelgang, Amy! I'm sorry, but I try to take a lethal attack if I have one. And I have one. GG Astor. Runo Stromkirk cares about big ol' fish. And I guess just other big creatures, but mostly big ol' fish. He's a big sexy vampire who worships those fish. At least as far as I can remember. And then becomes the Kraken Horror. Or maybe he summons the Kraken Horror. I'm not entirely sure what the flavor is here, but he's cool. Go ahead and use the screen and scry. Coma. Coma's a good card, but not really what I want here. You have Runo Stromkirk, enters the battlefield, puts a creature from your graveyard on top of your library, and then you check the top of your library. If it's something with a mana value 6 or greater, you transform him, and he copies other attacking creatures. But he double copies Krakens, Leviathans, Octopi, and Serpents. A very, like, strange, specific brew, but a really cool one. I could play the world's babiest gold Fan Hydra. I'm just gonna do this right now. I'm not gonna bluff having a counterspell or anything. I just want to play some cards here. See if I can set up something nice. Okay, we're not really going to be looking to hoof anytime soon. But we might want to hold on to it. It's one of those things where like I'm trying to look at like what mana values am I reasonably going to set up here. That should be fine. They've the needy Iron Crag. He's just going to keep asking. Tonight, an equipment, please. For you, Runo, would you like an equipment? Have I played in the open yet today? No, I haven't. I'm planning on doing it a little later. Hi, Runo! Milady, an equipment for you. A Goose for me! They didn't have a creature to put back on top of their deck. Equip me! But they can still reveal at the start of their turn and see what's on top of their deck. They're surveilling. You have... That's just a land. Okay, revealing? Are we revealing? Yo! You got Garuda on the first try? I'm so happy for them. I played Runo a bit when he came out, and I will tell you, the number of times that, first of all, I managed to get him to transform... very low. The number of times that I managed to transform and get a Kraken? Like, once ever. Good for them. Yes, good for them. I think I might just play a Hobbit, eat the food, or play the Railway Brawler. Or, like, slot it. Boop, boop. This is their once ever. You think they'll be able to make some copies of it? It has to also be attacking, right? Yeah, another attacking creature. Oh, nice. Could enter the battlefield to copy there. Railway Brawler. And the biggest blocker I could think of, which is Railway Brawler on a Vorinclex. Have a Hedge Mage and a Forest. So we can block really, really well. The Goose is still a 3/3. Like, are you gonna eat that? No. So we can double up the gold vein next turn. That would be really good. We can see what Garuda hits, if they cast Garuda here. Oh, All-Seeing Arbiter. That was a card that I played in Limited. Whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X, -O, where X is the number of different mana values. So, alright, I'm just gonna, like, do something here. Vorinclex has reach. I'm going to hover it so you see it. Vorinclex? He has reach. Okay, good. They know. I say that, like, oh, good, they know, because sometimes they don't. I'm gonna go X equals 4, because I'd also like to play either I'd like to play the Delighted Halfling here. This still gets doubled up. Thank you, Railway Brawler, you nasty, nutty card. Go to combat. I'll swing with Vorinclex and the Gold Vein Hydra. What if I should have attacked with everything? Bird? Bird. It's a 2/8. By the way, if they kill it, it's based on its power. So I would only get 2 treasures. I guess I'll kill the only thing I can with that triple block. We got 2 treasures, though, that we can sacrifice. I also have a dummy thick halfling. I get a copy of this Arbiter. They only get 1 copy of it, since it's not a real big fish. So many cards in hand. They draw 2, discard again. It's not a halfling anymore, it's a foaling. Oh my god. Unicola, no! I guess I'll take 10. Please play Garuda. There would be a metal band in Hobbiton. It's just called Dummy Thick Halfling. Hey, mill. What did you get? Those are... Oh. It was nothing. Aw. Wait. But... Aw. Do you have a counter spell? I have a counter spell, but it can't stop. Can't stop something that's cast from their hand. Oh, Riverwinder. That taps something, right? Oh no, this just has cycling. That's fine. So they're gonna do some shrinking here. But we're gonna do some growing. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 4, 5. Boop. Just making sure we have lethal attack there. We swing in, we win the game. Cool. Thanks, Crater Hoof Behemoth. And also, thank you, Runo, for doing the thing. Gonti, Canny Acquisitor. This Gonti cares about hitting your opponent and casting their spells. This Gonti is also a little hard to trigger because you do have to deal combat damage to your opponent. Though not with Gonti, just with anything. It allows you to then steal a spell from their deck and cast it later in the game. For a discount even if Gonti's on the battlefield. This Gonti, by the way, can only really trigger once per turn because there's not great ways to give it double strike in Arena or in these colors at all. If you're playing this in multiplayer, like 4-player game, you can steal from each opponent, which is way more awesome. If we don't need to use our counter spell, we can use our Goose to filter our hand. Matt, how's my weekend going? It's going great. Glimpse the core! I'll interrupt your ramp. It's the sort of thing that memory lapse is good for. I'll play my Goose. Gotta get my little beater down. A big beater, my big Goose. Oh, and they're gonna go for its throat. I mean, it's a Goose. It has quite a bit of neck. Sadly can't hold up a washway or anything else. Not that they would be doing much with it. And tapped. I don't need to pay 3 life on that. Just need to get a clue. Is a Goose like a cobra chicken? Sure feels like it. Yeah, geese can be a pain in the butt. Alright, well, I care less about countering Gonti and way more about doubling up some spells here and getting more sacrificables. So we're going to get a treasure off our Sword of Wealth and Power so we can cast Hard Evidence twice and get ourselves 4 clues. Alright, Gonti, you gonna play any unblockables? So you can deal with my crabs? Yeah, you mess with the honk, you get the bonk. You mess with the crab, you get the stab. Oh wait, it's just a 0-3. What's awesome about Sword of Wealth and Power is the protection from instants and sorceries protects you from so many just kill spells. So you don't have to deal with it, which is great. Okay, this costs 5 mana. Oh, you know, I should have attached the Sword of Wealth and Power on a crab, attacked in, gotten a treasure, and then done that. But, you know what? No, we're holding up the wash away this way. They're not playing this anyway. Okay, thank you for the card draw. They really don't want me to get loose with the Goose. Hair tie. We're just about at old Gnawbones, too. They really hate the Goose? Yeah. Armored Scrap Gorger. Oh, gorgeous. I could wait until they steal stuff to bring it back. They opt. I'm probably just going to sacrifice some clues to draw cards. It won't buff my Goose because it's not in exile. The command zone, outside of the game, but not exile. It's kind of weird. Ooh, Cridle, that's good unblockable damage. It'll make one of these unblockable even. It also will mill me. If it hits... They should give the Goose Eminence. Please don't. Please don't give the Goose Eminence. Chat demands that the Goose get Eminence. There's Steel Seeker, bringing us into a 3-4. And swinging in. Already a Tyrant. Willing to sacrifice your scrap gorger? Just to stop me from getting a treasure? They don't know what spell I want to double. The answer is no spell. I don't actually have a spell to double here. Hello, Stone of Eric. They're exiling the rest of my graveyard. That's fine. This is an artifact, so we'll trigger this Steel Seeker. Ooh, Vorinclex. Well, Vorinclex will get milled. So I'm going to then play this, naming green. We're going to put it to the bottom. You can't touch it with an instant or sorcery. It says you can't. Rogue class. It's gonna require a big mana investment for this to really be a threat to me. And I can always get rid of it with the Haywire Might if they do level it up. I might also just do this now. You have stolen a card and you may look at it. Hey, Oxide! Thank you for the sub! Yeah, I had to use Nykthos for that, so I used up all the land. Is it almost time to get loose with this Goose? No. Win old Gnawbones first. She might just die, though. I have a feeling the only reason Sareth Steelseeker is alive is because he has this sword. Fine. Well, I'm going to get 1 treasure instead of, like, 4 treasures. Reveal it? Yes, please. Yeah, Rogue class is one of those, like, I wonder why kind of cards. I'm gonna grab my Shockland here. We haven't used it yet. Ba-bam. Wash away. You got a counter spell in hand? Negate! Alright, so Gonti lands, and they will get to steal from me. Because of Krydle. They have an unblockable Urtai swinging in for 3. Almost Goosen time. This doesn't get through currently until I Cyclonic Rift, but like, I really want a Cyclonic Rift. I want them to play one of my spells and then I want a Cyclonic Rift. Nah, let's just do it now. Out of here. Urtai can kill something again. Whatever. I have a counter spell up. Reveal it? Yes, please. I do need more lands. Hiya, Krydle. Krydle right now is like the source of unblockability. And it's a matter of, am I more afraid of Urtai killing or countering something? Or am I more afraid of the Krydle here? Urtai. Gonna use up one of these clues. Albiorix is like, I wish I saw that happen. Ooh, witness protection. Nice. We could use that on Gonti or on Krydle later. But I'm gonna lead here with Hawk, just making sure we're using up this first. Would you like to counter my Hawk? Spell Swindle! Aw, that's my Spell Swindle. It makes treasures, which is good for the Goose. I do want that. I want my Goose actually in play. Now they can kill it with Urtai, but I think everybody here is very much in the understanding of, is Albiorix the problem here? I'm gonna move this off the top because if they do steal or mill, I don't want them taking that. It's Pock is the problem. You should kill Pock. That is in fact the good move there. You have a land. You want to play Gonti too? Steal a card? No? Edict? Non-token creature. Okay. We're actually gonna go nuts with this Goose. I think it'll be a lethal attack. At least potentially. Yeah, we go Roaming Throne, and then we sacrifice the tokens, and it will get double. But like, yeah, Pock's a problem. Roaming Throne, we're gonna name Bird. Yep, that's what our commander is. It's a bird. We're gonna do this. Conk. Oh, we're just short of lethal, though. And now it's not. 9 damage. Yet again, it's Bonnie Paul Clear Cutter. Bonnie's so good. This is one of those commanders that I've recommended to people as just, hey, do you want to try a card from Thunder Junction? She's really good. Draws you cards, puts lands into play. Has reach, gives reach, is big. Let's go ahead and crack open a Scalding Tarn. Yes, by the way, they did add the other 5 fetch lands into Arena, so now we have all of that. Do I feel like I need a duel here? No, not really. Ooh. I'm gonna go for Goose Mother X equals 1 over Albiorix here. This gets us a food and also lets us sacrifice a food next turn. Seraph Steelseeker. Albiorix to put it into exile. Draw 2, drop 2. I am going to drop the Parallel Lives and Polluted Delta. Let's just look at the top. It is a wash away. We do want to wash away because we can use that to counter Bonnie. We're going to sacrifice a food. That draws us a card. And now Albiorix is a 4/4. Hi, Gwenna. Gwenna's good ramp. Am I feeling like I want to play this Time Warp here? Let's see what I draw. Okay, got a Beseju. Yeah, I'm feeling Albiorix and a Time Warp. Just like next turn. Swing in, do a lot. Counter Bonnie. That's gonna be GG. We got 2 huge flyers. We're gonna have our own Bonnie Paul, but probably not. Actually, we're just gonna play Time Warp because it's so much damage. GG. Grenzo, Crooked Jailer. I got a cool way to sacrifice tokens, but no tokens here other than the one that the Goose makes on turn 2. I think I'm gonna throw this back. I'm gonna throw this back for now, I think. And look for maybe some stuff that has landfall or a little bit of ramp or some counter spells so I can stop Grenzo before he resolves. Grenzo is the sort of gotta stop commander because he makes so much value stealing a spell from among 3 and then casting it for free when they feel like casting it. They don't have to cast it right away. It's not like Nicol Bolas. They can sit and wait. All right, we're gonna mulligan and it's not ramp, but I do like the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Reclamation Sage will hit some of their mana rocks. Roaming Throne is... You guys know how I feel about Roaming Throne. Roaming Throne, my beloved. Roaming Throne, my beloved. We also have a turn 1 Surveil, so we can take a look at stuff. Try to line up a good start. Okay, Blackcleave Cliffs. Thoughtseize, they're gonna drop that Sharp-Eyed Rookie or a Rex Sage. Who you hitting? Reclamation Sage. So that tells me they've probably got some mana rocks in hand, and they're looking to use it. Cavern of Souls, they can steal mine counter spells, but naturally, they do not have counter spells. They're a Rakdos-colored deck. Third Archway. Okay. Sure. Sharp-eyed Rookie. Oh, also Tishana's Tidebender can stop Grenzo, but only temporarily, because if they kill the Tidebender, he gets his abilities back. 3 mana, a Worn Power Stone, and that gives them Grenzo next turn. Because they have the Grenzo next turn, I'm just going to sit here on the Tidebender. Hello, Grenzo. Grenzo enters the battlefield and heist. Or he would if we weren't taking out his abilities. This also grows my Sharp-eyed Rookie. Yeah, Albiorix, filter this hand a bit. I don't really want the Bristlebud Farmer. Parallel Lives, gets me double tokens. I think we're going to want lots of the little things. Still a 6/4, by the way. What's nice about this is it also looks like I have mana drain or counter spell here. Okay, Grenzo is indestructible. They're gonna kill this Tidebender pretty soon. Yeah, there it is. But at least we were able to stop those first couple of steals. Wait, what? That first. Fortunately, we do have some Simic Rampy stuff in here. They can steal that. Maybe we can just beat them down with a Goose. What you heisting? You're probably gonna get, like, my coma. Like, I know how Grenzos go. They see 3 and it's always useful ones. Why can't you just get garbage like me? If you give yourself hexproof, heist doesn't work. Load the mana. You gonna play that Virtue? Nope. Crucius. Lets them filter their hand. We still don't know what they've stolen. I'll take 6. Is it Time Warp? Nope. Okay. Ah, Time Warp. They could have stolen one of our counter spells, which is what I'm kind of more worried about. Let's try swinging in first. Blocking with Crucius. It's Spell Swindle, Mana Drain. What are we looking at here? What are we why you have a... What you doing? Okay, Kolaghan's Command. Rip to my roaming throne. Okay, so I've got 4 damage, 5 damage, potentially 6, 7, 8. That's not enough. Ah, never mind. They have a memory lapse. So they memory lapsed the Time Warp back into my deck, which actually gives them the opportunity to steal it if it happens to show it. Now remember, it shows them 3 random spells from my entire library, so it's not like it's going to show it. Because I probably have 50 spells left in my deck. Yeah, they got a prime time. That's some premium stuff. We get 2 lands into play. Jagged Barons, okay, that deals the damage. You're committing a crime. Restless Venge can be animated. They still have enough mana for Virtue of Persistence, and they're landing, and that's going to let them reanimate a creature during each of their turns, probably grabbing the roaming throne. Does Heist shuffle? No. Okay, Restless Vine Stalks, turning you into a 3/3. Gets me 5. I could also turn the Innkeeper into a 3/3. But it's unfortunately not quite enough. Off by 1. If you're wondering, Amy, why not Old Gnawbones? Also doesn't get me there. It's all about what they managed to get here. Stealing from a graveyard. They can grab a big creature, but those creatures can't actually attack this turn. There's nothing here with haste. The Restless Vents has Menace. If they attack in with it, I can't block it. If they can kill the Halfling, it's a clear and easy lethal. And they've already played 1 land that deals damage to my face. I feel like they're not going to have another. Okay, they had a thought distortion. I have an Old Gnawbones in hand. Yes, I mentioned the man land already. The Restless Vents. I said it has menace even. Because it does, it's a menace. Oh, it didn't matter. Because they had Craterhoof Behemoth that they stole from me and they can cast for free. Grenzo! Yep, that's how those games go. GG, Grenzo. I got so close. So close. The Gitrog Monster, one of my favorite commanders. I have counter spells, bounce spells, hasty stuff, and Helm. No, I want them to have their Gitrog Monster because I love Gitrog Monster. The Gitrog Monster lets you play extra lands, gets you card draw when lands go to the graveyard, and the most important of all, he's the Gitrog Monster. We love the Gitrog Monster. Everybody loves the Gitrog Monster. Right? Yeah. Bringing out Albiorix, Goose, Tyrant on turn 2. Thank you, Delighted Halfling. Gitrog's the bestest boy. I actually just updated my Gitrog deck, and they likely did too, because we just got the other 5 fetches, which means that now we have way more fetches for the Gitrog Monster, which is awesome for the Gitrog Monster. I'm going to bring out this Sphinx so I can start making clues. A clue! The fetches are already out. You can see one right here. Misty Rainforest was not in Arena a week ago, and now it is. I know people in the chat are like, so you're gonna hit this. You're gonna hit this. I might hit Nissa. I might hit Gitrog. For Gitrog, you want to hit the second ability, not the first one. Aren't they a stupid amount of gold? The fetches? They are one rare wild card. Bird. I don't actually have a bird to play here. One Spink. Oh wait, gotta make it look like we got a counterspell, but it's a different counterspell. Just throwing my goose, don't mind me. Oh no, I do have a different counterspell. So they had to sacrifice the land, and now the Gitrog Monster is the vanilla 6/6 because Tidebender's a good card. Ooh, Ancient Green Warden does give them something big with reach. Also lets them replay these from the graveyard so they can keep getting triggers off Nissa. But they can only play one land per turn. Because remember, we silenced the Gitrog Monster. Ooh, they care not to defend? Yeah, they'll be getting all the elves and elementals out of their deck. With these two here. All these fetches. Blue, untap. Prime time, Bonnie, or a couple of counter spells. Prime time. These come in tapped. We'll grab ones that come in tapped anyway. I'll take a land. Or to describe cards that remove all abilities. If you use other game name conventions, silence is usually what it is. You silence something. That hasn't really been shorthanded in Arena, though. Maybe it will be eventually. Silence is a different kind of card. Look at all that beautiful mana. They get 2 from each landfall off the Green Warden. Yeah, there is a bundle that's being sold in the store that does have 4 of each of the new fetch lands. I didn't buy it because I have wild cards, and I also play Brawl, wherein you only need 1 of each, which is so much easier. I feel kind of bad for like the timeless players that are like, yeah, I gotta get all of them, and I need a bunch of them, and I'm just out here like, that's too much. Wow, you have a lot of mana. What am I drinking? This is a cup that has ice in it and water in it. Ice water. Oh, wait. Oh, no! The Lotus Field makes them sacrifice 4 lands! Ancient Green Warden. You naughty. Ancient Green Warden just out here causing problems. Gitrog Monster just out here land fallen lands, all that stuff. They're saying, oops. Listen, I think we've all done it once. Iced water. Iced water. A lot of floating mana. Soon to be even more. We don't know what they have in their hand, though. Because they haven't been drawing cards. That's the thing we stopped the Gitrog from doing, was drawing cards. Oh, look at that! They're getting all the lands back! Do you have a use for the mana, or are we just ramping? Yeah, they have a Crucible, but they already have a Crucible effect. Ancient Green Warden. They can shuffle. Attack with Prime Time. What is it? Maelstrom Pulse? On me, Goose! That's so tragic. Oh, and another Crucible of Worlds effect. But they can't use the rest of the mana. You don't have anything else you can do with the mana. You can't recast. You already cast something this turn. Nice of you to try. If I use the Restless Vine Stalk, I can Shrink-a-Dink that. Probably just going for holding counter spells and playing the Goose again. Or like Bonnie and counter spells since I don't have any, Yeah. Have anything too big here? I'm going to attack with the Primeval Titan. Should have done those in the other order, but this is fine. Let's grab our own Nykthos and Lair to Hydra. They could just, like, block it easy with the Ancient Green Warden, too. Yeah, this worked out. Why did they pulse the Goose and not the Tidebender? I don't know! Ooh, there's another good landfall bit. Gitrog swings in again this turn. They've used up their landfalls so far, because they get 2. It would give them 1 extra, which would be 2 more triggers. But we'll be able to see what they would draw. That's a Casualties of War. Since that's a Casualties of War, we will probably just like chump block with a halfling. Oh wait, never mind, they're shuffling. Wait, what are they planning on doing with all the mana? Like, you already got the Nissa trigger. You could have held those for Nissa. You can't. You already cast a spell this turn. You already cast a spell this turn. Bro, come on. Listen, as a fellow Gitrog player, I understand taking game actions is a serious addiction. It's a tap, so you can't use it to seek. Brawling. we actually have more blue than green here. We also have a really big goose. Real big goose. I guess we win. GG. Nashi, Illusion Gadgeteer. Very often a deck that is looking to loop Nashi to recast some form of removal, whether it's a counterspell or whatever else, from their graveyard over and over and over. It can be very frustrating because in Sultai colors, you also have access to big spells that win games, like, you know, certain ultimatums. You may be familiar with them. In this hand, though, we do thankfully have a memory lapse. We've got our Sharp-Eyed Rookie if we want to be more aggressive. And, yeah, I want to be aggressive. B-E, aggressive. I'm going to play my Sharp-Eyed Rookie bright and early, turn 2, so I can start to grow her. We've had this as our turn 2 play in a lot of games, and I really do like it. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to name Bird, but play Sentinel of the Nameless City. They don't have anything to return from graveyard yet with Nashi, so this is fine. They bolted the rookie. She didn't even get to solve her first case. Aw, rude. Can I decide if I want to, bolt this in because of our mana drain in hand? And the answer is yes. We still have an alternate move. Yeah, so like I can mana drain this. Oh, and they're just gonna leave. It's only 2 mana! I was gonna use it to, like, I don't know, crack open a clue or something. Hrey Ghost-Forward. Hrey is a spirits commander. Makes your spirits stronger and faster. And also brings back your creatures from the dead. Raises them up. But only if they were non-tokens when they died. We got ourselves our Kami of Bamboo Groves. Getting us turn 1 ramp so we can turn to Goose. And we also have a sort of a counterspell to Shauna's Tidebender. Great card here. Do I just want to go for the Goose? Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Goose. No mana tithe, always good to see. And because Albiorix has Ward 1, unless this is a Lightning Bolt or Swords to Plowshares, it's safe for a turn. Cathar Commando! Nice! A self-sacrificing creature that can destroy artifacts and enchantments. Seasoned Pyromancer will fill up their graveyard. Make a couple of little dudes. Oh, nice. Cantorius. Tireless Provisioner. Land. Land gets us a treasure. Treasure gets us Sarah Steelseeker. Sacrificing the treasure grows our Goose. And I guess that's enough for them. They're not sticking around. Loot. The key to everything. A very, very fun commander if you like to cast spells from exile. And he casts a lot of them from exile. Very often, Loot is playing lots of abilities that allow you to like play extra lands per turn. Because with Loot out and lots of different permanent types, you'll get access to a lot of different cards. And this is actually perfect because it's both an enchantment and a creature. So it counts for 2 different things for Loot. That's very cute that you have a Dilute. I have to decide if I want to hold up a counterspell for Loot or play my Goose. I want to play my Goose. Me and Loot, we both have Ward 1, which means that I have enough mana to punch their commander with a prize fight, get the prize, and use it to grow the Goose. Ooh, Rhythm of the Wild is going to make these counterspells useless on their creatures. Hi, Loot. Loot gets an extra counter. I want to punch loot. Yeah! We punched the baby! And now we have a treasure which we can use to grow the goose. Because we've ramped, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With Seagate Restoration, I can play Bonnie next turn. Yes, I love Bonnie. I could also hold the Spell Swindle, but I'm not going to. Because, like, I think we've established the counter spells. That's not it. We getting loose with the goose. Bonnie! Draws us a card. I don't have a land to put into play. Haven't found a fetch or anything yet. We got paid to punch a baby? Yeah, I got paid to punch a baby. Defense of the Heart is a bit of an issue for me here since I have 3 creatures, and that means this will trigger next turn. Oh. Guess I'll just play a Shia. No. Wish I would have grown this. I'm trying to think what they would be getting in a loot deck. Oh dang, clue. So if I played this pre-combat, bow would have been bigger. That's fine. They would have just jump blocked the Kami. I'm trying to think if they would have one. They probably have Hoof in their deck. I would have Hoof in my loot deck. Pretty sure I do have Hoof in my loot deck. And with 2 other creatures... Yeah, something like a Cityscape Leveler. At least this is lands now. They also don't get cast. But everything can have haste off Rhythm of the Wild. Yeah, if they're playing Defense of the Heart, they could just have 3 value things, or they could have 3, like, things that they know, or 2 things that they know are pretty much game. Yes, 2 creatures. But which 2? Buff and Bonnie! Hey, Bonnie. How you doing? That's a lot of damage. Just a bit. GG, loot. I'm glad I got to punch you, though. Harold, King of Skemfar, a Golgari Elves commander. And when you get those elves, you end up with even more elves, because he enters the battlefield and finds either an elf or sometimes Tyvar. He's mostly an elf. I mean, he has a creature card now. This hand is okay, but not great. We can technically filter it using Albiorix. And if I had a 3rd land, would I keep this? Yes. So I'm still in the maybe zone. Albiorix being able to fill up the graveyard for Uro. Having this Goose Mother is really nice. Swiftfoot Boots probably don't need it. Vorinclex, that's a little bit later in the game. This lets us eat our food for our card draw. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, we got Steel Seeker, Pippin. We just need ways to make some artifacts, so we make even more artifacts off this. Ooh, Galagreeters. Yep, that's an elf. Are you an elf? No, you are a human artificer scout. Neat. When an elite sees an elf and makes an elf, they'll get 2 triggers off of Galagreeters, probably making a treasure and putting a +1/+1 counter on it. Nice. I have the, like, bluffing the counterspell, or I could, like, go for trying to make even more food off Pippin. I mean, I do have Pock, so, like, that's not bad. I'm gonna do this because a lot of people are just scared of blue decks. And that's okay. It's very fair to be scared of blue decks. They're annoying. Ooh, an Abomination of Llanowar! Gets bigger based on the number of elves they have. It is the literal elf ball. Probably don't need the Haywire Mite. And I think I can drop Pippin, though he is cool with the Gilded Goose. Now let's drop a Land, Spell Swindle, Pock. Definitely don't want to drop Pock because we have a Henge here, and it's a really great way to lead into it. Reveal it? Yes, please. Pippin. And a Goose. Makes me 2 food, so now I have 3 food. And since Albiorix is in exile, I could sacrifice those 3 food to draw a card. And also buff my Goose Man. Steel Seeker, I think, has done its job. It is now expendable as a blocker. Night Herald. Woo! Draw some cards from these dying. I'm trying to think, like, what they buffed on Herald. Did he always have the ability to find warriors? Was it always Elf Warrior Tyvar? Is it number of cards he looks at? Ooh, okay, Toski. Okay, so it was top 5 and now it's top 7. That's the difference between the cards. Boop, boop, boop. Big Goose. I'll draw a card. We're gonna bring out Hawk. And then Vista. Pass the turn. This isn't an elf, it's a squirrel. They're pretty much elves. Listen, I ain't no elfologist, but seems right enough to me. They're goblins of the animal kingdom. Tree rats. Wait, do they? They only have like 1 black mana. Ooh, Turn Timber Symbiosis. Wonder what they'll get. Woodland Mystic. It gets counters on it, right? Yeah, because it was little. Hosky, Abomination of Llanowar. Who else is coming in? I only have 12 life left. And don't they know it? Crack open the Prismatic Vista to get another pair of lands. We specifically do want a forest here so we can activate the Goose. I feel like I have a question of, like, would I rather sacrifice my Goose here? Versus taking the 7. I'm gonna keep them all alive. They'll draw cards off both Toski and the Skemfar Avenger. Okay, I've made like this big, beautiful goose, but I'm worried that we just win off we hoof. Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry, big beautiful goose. This forces some blocks. We're attacking in with 33 damage, so they have to prevent at least 11. They're unlikely to be able to kill Puck on those blocks. Actually, they could only if they, like, triple blocked it. Remember, this shrinks. But still counts elves in the graveyard. This is a skill test. Listen, I'm not gonna remember any of it. Am I Dobbs? Sounds right. But only if they can do it. Well, I have the equivalent of 8 life, right? But they have at least 8 attacking. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do the math. Oh no! Elves died, so they lost life and drew cards. I wonder if there was a way for them to stay alive through that. I forgot about the extra damage. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you enjoyed getting loose with the goose and giving the old honk and bonk with Albiorix Goose Tyrant. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description of the video. And if you also want to play some weird cards in this deck, you should go for it. I actually changed this deck while I was recording to add even more like silly synergy cards in that aren't necessarily that good, but they're cool with the goose because, you know, we're sacrificing artifacts and it's fun to sacrifice artifacts. I will say this was a deck suggestion. People in my channel ended up voting on it because they said, yeah, we haven't seen anybody play this goose. Amy, will you play the goose? And you know what? I'm always down to try new commanders. If you'd like to suggest a commander, you should do so in the comments. You should be like, hey, Amy, you know, now that you've rebuilt Albiorix, it's also time to repost Gitrog Monster. Nobody actually ever asks for Gitrog Monster. I just upload Gitrog Monster every couple months because he's one of my favorite commanders. Same with Nicol Bolas. Just whenever I have an opportunity, it's like, yeah, I'm making another Brawl Stars for Nicol Bolas. I play that deck all the time. I play Gitrog pretty often too. You just might not see it if you only watch the YouTube stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.